Welcome to my presentation for assessment 2. In this presentation, I'll be explaining my lesson plan titled Talking About Animals, designed for children aged between 8 to 10 years in Japan learning English at the A2 level. This lesson builds upon my original PGA 1 submission, which was designed for younger A1 learners aged between 5 to 7. I'll outline each section for the lesson plan and I recommend wearing the selected activities and how I adapt these lessons to suit different proficiency level and age group. Adapting learners' characteristics, age and proficiency. In my PGA 1 submission, the focus was introducing basic animal vocabularies to very young learners at the age of A1 level. These learners were just beginning to recognize and name animals, and the emphasis was on sensory and play-based learning using sound, flashcards, and memory game. For this revised lesson, I increased the learner's proficiency level from A1 to A2 and their age range between 5 to 7 years to 8 to 10 years old. These changes require shift in learning purposes and instructional approach. A2 learners are typically able to use simple sentences describing familiar things and particularly in short routine conversation. Therefore, the lesson now focuses not just on naming the animals, but on describing them and expressing proficiency and engage in short exchanges. The lesson aims to move the learners towards communicative competences by supporting developmental or functional language, such as my favorite animal is a lion, it's bigger and strong, and basic question answer interaction like, do you like giraffe? Yes, I do. Overview of lesson structure and activities. The lesson is 60 minutes long and consists of 4 key parts, that is, warm-up, a vocabulary expansion activity, a communicative speaking task, and a creative expression task. Each of these has been carefully designed to support the learner's engagement and scaffolded their movement from recognition to production. On activity 1, warm-up and animal sound gazing game. The lesson begins with a warm-up where learners listen to animal sounds and try to guess which animal it is. This activity reactivates prior knowledge in a fun and multisensory way, helping the student to engage in their auditory memory language, recall it. It's also had excitement and set the tone of the lesson compared to A1 fashion, where sound matching was a compulsory focus. Here, it serves as a low pressure re-entry point into the topic before introducing more complex tasks. This warm-up uses authentic audio and visual laws appeal to both auditory and visual learners. On activity 2, vocabulary expansion and description. The second activity expands on non-vocabulary by introducing simple descriptive sentences such as the lion is big or the bird can fly. I model this using a flashcard and a sentence strip and support students with catchwords to reunite their verb and adjective. This marks a step up from A1 where students only name animals. Here they begin in combining non-words into a meaningful and accurate sentence. These activities support oral repetition, scaffolded sentences construction, and pronunciation, catering to learners who are ready to learn from complete thoughts in English. It reflects principles of scaffolded inputs, allowing learners to build confidence with new structures before moving into interactions. On the activity 3, that is, find someone who, under the communicative task. Next, students complete a find who speaking activity. They ask and answer questions like, do you like tigers? While recording answers on the worksheet. This activity supports real communicative use of language, aligning with A2 descriptive, e.g., exchanging simple personal information, and introduces a more interactive peer-based dynamic. Its comparison to the A1 activity, which was what's missing. With tested memory and vocabulary, this task demand the student to initiate and sustain basic conversation, ensuring both listening and speaking is offside. It also reflects on communicative language teaching, that is CLT, focusing on functioning over form and providing learners with the purpose for using language in context. On the activity 4, that is creative expression. The final task is creative expression, whereby learners learn how to draw and write. The student creates the simple description of the favorite animal. They use the sentence frame, e.g., my favorite animal is it come. After drawing and writing, they share the sentences with their partner. This activity encourages personal expression, integrates all 4 skills, and provides a natural opportunity for output. Unlike the original PhD activity, which had limited writing, this one introduces short composition that are appropriate for increased age and language abilities to A2 learners. It also offers students a sense of ownership over the language and the taps into intrinsic motivation through choice and creativity. On the resources and assessment, for each activity, I selected specific age appropriate materials such as animal sound, audio file, sentence strips, costume worksheets, and drawing tools. These resources are designed to support multiple learning styles and maintain engagement. Assessment throughout the lesson is conducted through observation, oral presentation, written output. I also checked on the appropriate use of vocabulary, sentences accuracy, pronunciation, and fluency. This formative assessment helps to ensure the learners are meeting the lesson outcome and provide the data to guide future instruction. On the homework and next lesson, to extend learning beyond the classroom, students complete a mini booklet called My Animal Book, where they draw 3 animals, write a sentence for each. This allows for additional writing practice and gives the students a chance to reinforce their day's learning independently. In the next lesson, the learners will share their booklets in a small group to practice speaking. The upcoming lesson will also introduce comparative adjectives PJ big, bigger, or fast, faster, guiding the learners to develop more complex structures. This sets the foundation for longer description and support the upcoming trajectory within the A2 level. On the reflections and adaptation, reflecting on the original PGA, the biggest shift is in the lesson in transition from vocabulary cognition to meaningful language production. At A2, at A1, the call was to engage on young learners within the sound and the naming of the animal using a highly concrete and playful method. At A2, while I retain interactive and engaging format, the task now required learners to describe, compare, and express preferences, which skills were more aligning to their developmental and linguistic capabilities. I've also moved from teacher-led question to peer-based conversation, which better reflects on CLT principles and supports social learning. These changes were informed by descriptors for A2 as well as pedagogical theories such as Vygotsky, sociocultural theories, Karina multiple intelligence. I believe this modifiers creates a lesson that is not only developmentally appropriate but also engaging, communicative, and purposeful. Thank you.